Talking to Todd Walker, the voice of Bowling Green football today. Talking Bowling Green football going into the 2015 season. Todd, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. Looking forward to football already.
Well, spring football is in the books. What are your thoughts on Bowling Green as they wrap up spring football and heading into summer camp?
Well, I think job one in spring football was to see if our former starting quarterback, Matt Johnson, could return to form after a hip injury ended his season last year in the first game of the season, and mission accomplished there. And Matt was named the starter right before the end of spring practice, and he will be back to hopefully lead this team to similar heights as he did in 2013 when he took the team to a MAC championship. So that was job one. Maybe job 1A was to get some more or get a new defense put in with a new defensive coordinator. Coach Ward has taken over there, coming in really as the new guy on the staff after Coach Babers shook up the staff a little bit with a couple of assistants left for other jobs. I think that's where Bowling Green's really going to be challenged this year. Last year the defense had its struggles, even with what we thought was really good personnel and a lot of returnees, but it never really clicked defensively. And now they bring in a new coordinator who really doesn't have any connection to Coach Babers in the past, and they lose a significant amount on defense. In fact, 4 of our starters from last year will be in NFL camps here in the month of May, so there's a lot of work to be done defensively, that's for sure.
Well, that's one area I wanted to, or two areas I wanted to talk about was the offensive side of the football. If I'm not mistaken, it's year 2 in the Baylor type offense. And like you said on defense, new defensive coordinator, new scheme. What kind of scheme is that, and what did they come from scheme-wise? And also your thoughts on year 2 in the Baylor offense.
Well, we'll start with the defense. Scheme-wise, I don't know that we're really sure yet from watching them in spring. You know, it's hard to really get an idea of what they're going to try to do strategically. You know, coaches keep that pretty close to the vest, and Coach Babers and his staff are very secretive with that stuff in general. So I'm not sure if you'll see any real formational changes defensively. I think what Coach Babers prefers his defense to be is an attacking type of defense to try and create a lot of turnovers, because as you know, with that quote-unquote Baylor-type offense, it's going to be a very fast game, and the defense sometimes can be exposed for a lot of plays. So he prefers a defense that will attack and try and make turnovers their number one accomplishment. So I would imagine Coach Ward will be in that frame of mind as well. But, you know, I don't think really there's going to be a big change as far as maybe a different front or anything like that. I think you're just hoping that a new coordinator, maybe he can click a little better and get the defense where it needs to be to complement the offense. And on that side of the ball, as you said, year 2 for Coach Babers, but really it'll be the first full year, we hope, with Matt Johnson at quarterback. He certainly appears to have taken to the system very well. He was effective in the one game he played last year against Western Kentucky. He's a proven leader. That the team loves him, obviously, as their quarterback that led them to a championship. But the other thing that really helps is everybody is back offensively. The only losses were to guys that really weren't your top-flight players. Running back Travis Green is back. Roger Lewis, a standout wide receiver, is back. In fact, almost the entire receiving core, top 10, top 12 even, are back. So the offense is loaded talent-wise, and they all have a year of experience under their belt. Even quarterback Matt Johnson went through a full spring and a fall camp and another spring now, and coming up another fall camp. So offensively, this team should be able to put up huge numbers, and you just hope defensively that the change in coordinator will help them overcome the loss of a lot of personnel.
Well, Todd, what are your thoughts on the Tennessee Volunteers as Butch Jones is building this program? He's heading into year number 3 under his watch. What's your thoughts on what Butch Jones has been able to do in Knoxville?
You know, I really liked that hire when the UT hired him. Of course, we're familiar with him up in this part of the country from his association with Coach Kelly along the way. I think they they've also done it right, kind of putting him in there and letting him do it his way and get things turned around in Knoxville. There's no reason they should be second-class citizens in the SEC. I'm sure they would all agree down there. I think he's a very good coach, and nothing but upswing is what you see with Tennessee right now. And it's one of those things that, Bowling Green will go into that game as an obvious underdog, but I always say that playing somebody the first game of the season is your best chance for an upset if you're the quote-unquote underdog, and Bowling Green's done that a few times over the years. Purdue and Pitt come to mind, but I really like what Tennessee's doing, and I've always liked Coach Jones at his previous stops, and Tennessee's got everything you need to be a national power, and if they leave him in there and he keeps doing what he's doing, I would imagine that pretty soon they'll be knocking on the door.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, South Carolina State pulled out of the game against Bowling Green, and, of course, UAB dropped football by the president's decision to open up that game for Bowling Green and Tennessee. What's your thoughts on that? And it's kind of exciting, I guess, for Bowling Green to be at the Titan Stadium to play the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate and fortuitous at the same time for Tennessee and Bowling Green to both lose already scheduled opponents. But for Bowling Green, there's obvious give and take here. It's a big payday. That's good. You lose a home game, that's bad. It also adds another Power 5 conference school to our already loaded schedule that contains Maryland also on the schedule, and Purdue, along with a very good mid-major, if you will, in Memphis. So there's give and take there, but everybody's looking forward to being down there and playing in an NFL facility is certainly great. Personally, I'd rather be at Neyland Stadium for my own personal experience, but playing in an NFL facility is also nice. And, it'll give us a good spotlight when you play a nationally known team like Tennessee. It gives you a little more of a stage, and I'm sure our guys are looking forward to it, even though it loads up our non-conference schedule.
Were you surprised that UAB dropped football?
I wasn't really when I was reading the press coverage of it. I've followed that area just because of the Mobile connection with the Mid-American Conference. I've always kind of followed their media down there, and it looked like the fix was in with those meetings they were having. And, I guess in the modern way of thinking, I'm kind of surprised, but the way the coverage was going, it didn't surprise me. Not that I have any intimate knowledge. I guess they're fighting to try and get it back, but boy, the state of Alabama, they've got their own way of doing things, I guess. So it's unfortunate for those Blazer fans and the folks that started that program and were playing in it, but I guess now the real question is getting to get it back.
That's exactly right. Well, Todd, it was great to catch up with you today and to talk some Bowling Green football. Should be interesting to see that offense hit the field in Nashville, game number 1, week number 1, Labor Day weekend against Tennessee. It should be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming down. There are actually a couple of guys that work at UT that I know personally. One of the guys in development, Eric Schindler, and then Greg Hewlin, I think is still with the thing they call the Vol Fund.
Right.
They call it. I think he's still there. So I'm looking forward to it, and who knows, it'll be here before we know it.